Welcome back to the channel The Coin Empire. Today we are diving into one of the most unbelievable and mysterious stories in the world of coin collecting, a story that has stunned collectors, sparked debates, and turned an ordinary piece of pocket change into a legendary treasure, the 1975 1-cent USA coin that is rumored to be worth an astonishing $87 million. And while that number may sound almost impossible at first, once you understand the rare errors, unusual minting mistakes, and the unique circumstances surrounding this coin, you will begin to see how such a tiny copper piece could command such a massive value in the collector's market. Because in the world of numismatics, it is not just about age or metal content, it is about rarity, story, condition, and most importantly, the presence of errors that should never have existed in the first place. And the 1975 penny is believed by many experts and enthusiasts to contain a combination of these factors that makes it one of the most desirable coins ever discussed, starting with the fact that 1975 was not considered a particularly special year for pennies as millions were minted and circulated across the United States. But hidden within that massive production were a few coins that may have been struck under highly unusual conditions, and those rare pieces are what collectors dream about finding even today. One of the biggest reasons behind the rumored value is the possibility of a no mint mark error on a 1975 penny, because during that time certain pennies were supposed to carry mint marks indicating where they were produced, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But a coin from a facility that should have had a mint mark appearing without one is considered a major anomaly. And if such a coin exists in pristine condition, it could instantly become one of the rarest modern coins ever discovered. Adding to that is the possibility of double die errors, where the design on the coin appears duplicated or slightly shifted due to misalignment during the die creation process. This kind of error can create a striking visual effect, especially in the lettering and date, making the coin extremely attractive and valuable to collectors who are always searching for unique variations. Then there is the chance of off-center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned during the minting process, causing part of the design to be missing or shifted. These types of coins are rare because they are usually caught and destroyed during quality control, so the few that escape into circulation become highly sought after. Another fascinating error that could be associated with a high-value 1975 penny is a wrong planchet strike, where the coin is struck on a metal blank intended for a different denomination or even a different type of coin entirely. Imagine a 1975 penny struck on a dime or foreign coin planchet. Such an error would be incredibly rare and could significantly increase the coin's value, and when you combine multiple errors on a single coin, such as a double die combined with an off-center strike or a missing mint mark, the rarity multiplies dramatically, making it a one-of-a-kind piece that collectors would be willing to pay extraordinary amounts to own. Another factor that drives the value so high is the condition of the coin, because even the rarest error coin will lose much of its value if it is heavily worn or damaged. But if a 1975 penny with these errors is found in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and original luster, it could reach unbelievable prices at auction. And then there is the mystery factor. Because not all valuable coins are officially recorded or widely known, sometimes rumors and stories circulate within the collecting community about coins that exist but have not been publicly confirmed. And the idea of a 1975 penny worth $87 million fits perfectly into this category, fueling excitement and curiosity among collectors who hope to one day discover such a coin in their own collection or even in everyday change. The history of coin collecting is full of examples where ordinary coins turned out to be incredibly valuable due to unexpected errors, and this keeps the dream alive for millions of people around the world, encouraging them to carefully examine every coin they come across, looking for small details that could make a huge difference. And the 1975 penny serves as a perfect example of how something so small and seemingly insignificant can become a symbol of wealth and rarity. It also highlights the importance of knowledge and attention to detail, because without understanding what to look for, it is easy to overlook a valuable coin. Collectors often use magnifying glasses and specialized tools to inspect coins closely, searching for signs of doubling, unusual textures, or inconsistencies in the design. And these careful examinations can sometimes reveal hidden treasures that others have missed. Another interesting aspect is the role of auctions and private sales in determining a coin's value, because a coin is ultimately worth what someone is willing to pay for it, and if a rare 1975 penny with unique errors were to appear at a major auction, it could attract intense bidding from collectors and investors, driving the price higher and higher until it reaches astonishing levels. And in some cases, the story behind the coin can be just as important as the coin itself. Adding to its allure and desirability, for example, if a particular 1975 penny were discovered in an unusual way or had a documented history of ownership, it could become even more valuable due to its unique narrative, and this combination of rarity, condition, era features, and story is what makes certain coins stand out from the rest, turning them into legendary pieces that capture the imagination of collectors everywhere. And while the idea of an $87 million penny may seem unbelievable, it serves as a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, where even the smallest objects can hold incredible value, and this is why so many people continue to search through their coins, hoping to find that one rare piece that could change their life forever. So the next time you come across a 1975 1-cent coin, take a closer look. Because you never know what hidden secrets it might hold, and who knows, you might just be holding a piece of history that is worth far more than its face value, a coin that tells a story of errors, mistakes, and extraordinary possibilities that transformed it into one of the most talked about treasures in the collecting world. And that is what makes coin collecting not just a hobby but a thrilling journey filled with discovery, mystery, and the chance of uncovering something truly priceless. Next, 1979 1-cent coin. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating and unbelievable stories in the world of coin collecting, a story that turns an ordinary everyday coin into a jaw-dropping treasure, the mysterious 1979 1-cent USA coin that is rumored to be worth an astonishing $84 million. And while at first this may sound impossible or exaggerated, once you understand the world of minting errors, rare variations, collector demand, and the powerful influence of rarity and condition, you begin to see how even a simple copper coin can transform into a life-changing discovery. Because in numismatics, the true value of a coin is not limited to its face value or even its metal content, but instead lies in the story behind it, the uniqueness of its creation, and the mistakes that should never have happened yet somehow slipped through the cracks of the minting process. And the 1979 penny is believed by some collectors to represent the perfect storm of these factors, making it one of the most talked about coins among enthusiasts who are always searching for that once-in-a-lifetime find. Now, to understand why this coin could reach such an extraordinary value, we first need to look at the context of its production. The year 1979 was a time when millions upon millions of pennies were produced by the United States Mint, with the Denver Mint marked by the letter D striking a significant portion of those coins. And in such high-volume production environments, errors are inevitable. However, most of these errors are minor and caught during quality control, but occasionally something unusual escapes, something that is not just a small imperfection but a major anomaly that sets the coin apart from all others. And this is where the legend of the 1979 penny begins to take shape. One of the most intriguing possibilities is the presence of a doubled die error, where the design of the coin appears doubled due to a misalignment during the die creation process. This can create a very noticeable effect on the lettering, the date, and even the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, making the coin visually distinct and highly desirable. Collectors often pay significant premiums for coins with strong and clear doubling, and if a 1979 penny were discovered with an extreme example of this error in pristine condition, it could command a staggering price. But that is just the beginning, because another potential factor is the presence of a repunched mint mark, which occurs when the mint mark is stamped more than once in slightly different positions, creating a layered or shadowed appearance. This type of error is particularly interesting to collectors because it provides a glimpse into the manual processes that were once used at the mint, and a rare variation of a 1979 penny with a dramatic repunched mint mark could be considered a unique specimen, further increasing its value. Then there is the possibility of an off-center strike, where the coin was not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in part of the design being missing or shifted toward one side. While minor off-center strikes are relatively common, A perfectly dramatic off-center strike that still retains a visible date and mint mark can be extremely valuable, especially if it is combined with other errors. And this brings us to one of the most important concepts in coin collecting, which is the idea of multiple errors on a single coin, because while one error can make a coin valuable, the presence of multiple rare errors can multiply its worth exponentially, turning it into a one-of-a-kind treasure that collectors would compete fiercely to own. Another fascinating possibility is that of a wrong planchet error, where the 1979 D penny was struck on a metal blank intended for a different denomination or even a different coin altogether. Imagine a penny struck on a dime planchet or a foreign coin blank. Such an error would be incredibly rare and immediately attract attention from collectors around the world, and if such a coin were authenticated and preserved in excellent condition, it could easily reach extraordinary values. Adding to the intrigue is the chance of a transitional error, where a coin is struck using a design or composition that does not belong to that particular year, although the major composition change for pennies occurred in 1982. There is always the possibility of experimental or test planchets being used accidentally, and if a 1979 D penny were found with an unusual composition or weight, it could indicate a rare and valuable anomaly. And then we must consider the role of condition, which cannot be overstated, because even the rarest coin will lose much of its appeal if it is heavily worn or damaged. But a coin that has been preserved in near perfect mint state condition with full original luster, sharp details, and no signs of circulation can command a premium that far exceeds expectations. And when you combine such a high-grade condition with rare errors, the result can be a coin that is truly priceless in the eyes of collectors. And this is where the idea of an $84 million valuation begins to make sense, not as a typical market price but as a theoretical maximum driven by extreme rarity, collector competition, and the unique characteristics of the coin. And beyond the technical aspects, there is also the psychological and emotional element of coin collecting, because collectors are not just buying metal, they are buying history, mystery, and the thrill of owning something that very few people in the world have ever seen. And the story of a rare 1979 D penny becomes more powerful as it is shared among collectors, growing in legend and desirability, inspiring more people to search through their change jars and coin collections in the hope of finding something extraordinary. And this sense of possibility is what keeps the hobby alive and exciting, because every coin has the potential to be something more than it appears. Every detail matters, every variation tells a story, and every mistake can become a source of immense value. And the 1979 D penny serves as a perfect example of this idea, reminding us that even the smallest objects can hold incredible secrets waiting to be discovered. And as collectors continue to study coins and uncover new varieties, the understanding of what makes a coin valuable continues to evolve, opening the door for new discoveries and new records to be set. And while not every 1979 D penny will be worth millions, the possibility that one could be is enough to capture the imagination and drive the passion of collectors around the world. So the next time you come across a penny, do not dismiss it as something insignificant. Take a closer look, examine the details, check for unusual features, because you never know what you might find. And who knows, that ordinary-looking coin in your hand could be the very piece that changes everything, a rare error coin with a story so unique and a value so extraordinary that it becomes a legend in the world of numismatics. And that is the magic of coin collecting, a journey filled with curiosity, discovery, and the endless possibility that treasure could be hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with a keen eye and a bit of knowledge to recognize its true worth and bring its story to light. And as we continue to explore these incredible stories here on the Coin Empire, remember that every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth far more than you could ever imagine. Next, 2000 D 1 cent coin. Today we are uncovering another unbelievable story from the world of rare coins, a story that proves even the most modern coins can hide extraordinary value. And today's spotlight is on the mysterious 2000 D 1 cent USA coin that has been rumored to reach an astonishing value of $80 million due to its rare errors, unusual minting mistakes, and the incredible possibilities surrounding its existence. And while many people think only ancient or very old coins can be valuable, this example completely changes that belief, because it shows how a relatively recent coin can become one of the most talked about treasures in numismatic history. and to truly understand how this could happen, we need to dive deep into the fascinating world of coin production, where millions of coins are created every day under high-speed conditions, and despite strict quality control systems, mistakes can and do happen. And sometimes those mistakes are so rare and so unusual that they transform an ordinary coin into something priceless. And the 2000 penny is believed by collectors to be one of those extraordinary cases where a perfect storm of factors could have created a coin unlike any other, starting with the Denver Mint marked by the letter D, which produced billions of pennies around that time. And within such massive production runs, even the smallest inconsistency can lead to a rare variety slipping through unnoticed. One of the most discussed possibilities for this coin is the presence of a dramatic double die error, where the design elements such as the date, the word liberty, or even the portrait of Abraham Lincoln appear double due to a misalignment during the die creation process. This type of error is highly sought after because it is not just a minor flaw but a visible and often striking feature that makes the coin stand out immediately. And when the doubling is strong and clear, it can significantly increase the coin's desirability among collectors who are always searching for unique pieces. Another important factor is the potential for a die crack or cut error, where a portion of the die breaks off and leaves a raised blob of metal on the coin. These errors can vary in size and shape, and some of the most dramatic examples can create almost sculptural features on the coin's surface, making each piece completely unique. And if a 2000 penny were discovered with an unusually large or well-defined cut, it could be considered a one-of-a-kind specimen. Then there is the possibility of an off-center strike, which occurs when the coin is not properly aligned during the striking process, resulting in a portion of the design being missing. While small off-center errors are relatively common, a perfectly executed off-center strike that still retains the full date and mint mark can be extremely valuable, especially if it is combined with other errors. And this leads to one of the most important concepts in rare coin valuation, which is the idea of multiple errors on a single coin, because when two or more rare minting mistakes appear together on one coin, the rarity increases dramatically and the coin becomes far more desirable than any single error. Example: imagine a 2000 penny with both a strong double die and a significant off-center strike, or a coin that also shows a die crack or unusual surface texture. Such combinations are incredibly rare and can drive values into extraordinary ranges. Another fascinating possibility is the wrong planchet error, where the penny is struck on a metal blank intended for a different denomination, such as a dime, or even a foreign coin. This would immediately create a coin with a different size, weight, and color, making it stand out instantly. And collectors place a very high premium on such errors because they represent a clear and undeniable mistake in the minting process. And when you consider the year 2000, which marked the beginning of a new millennium, there is also the possibility that experimental or test planchets were being used around that time, and a mix-up could have occurred, leading to an extremely rare and unusual coin entering circulation. And beyond these technical errors, there is also the factor of condition, which plays a crucial role in determining value. A coin that has never been circulated and retains its original mint luster, sharp details, and flawless surfaces is considered to be in mint state and can command a much higher price than a worn example. And when a rare error coin is found in such pristine condition, it becomes even more valuable because it represents not only a mistake but a perfectly preserved piece of history. And this combination of rarity, error, and condition is what can push a coin's value into the millions or even tens of millions in extreme cases. And then there is the human element of collecting, which adds another layer of value because collectors are driven by the thrill of discovery, the desire to own something unique, and the stories behind each coin. And when a coin like the 2000 penny gains a reputation for being extremely rare or possibly one of a kind, it creates a sense of excitement and competition among collectors who are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to add such a piece to their collection. And auctions play a significant role in this process because when a rare coin appears at a major auction, it can attract bidders from around the world, each one determined to win the coin, and this competition can drive the price far beyond initial estimates, sometimes reaching levels that seem almost unbelievable. And the idea of an $80 million penny fits into this world of high-stakes collecting where rarity and demand can combine to create record-breaking sales. And even though not every 2000 penny will be worth such an amount, the possibility that one could exist is enough to inspire collectors to carefully examine every coin they encounter. looking for the smallest details that could indicate something special. And this is what makes coin collecting such a fascinating hobby, because it combines history, art, science, and a sense of adventure all in one. Every coin has a story to tell, and sometimes that story includes errors, mistakes, and unexpected twists that make it far more valuable than anyone could have imagined. And the 2000 penny serves as a perfect example of how something so common can become extraordinary under the right circumstances, reminding us that treasure can be found in the most unexpected places, even in the loose change in your pocket. So the next time you come across a penny, take a moment to look at it closely, check the date, examine the mint mark, and pay attention to any unusual features, because you never know what you might discover. And who knows, you might just find a coin that changes your life, a coin that carries the legacy of errors and possibilities that transformed it from a simple piece of currency into one of the most talked about treasures in the world of numismatics. And that is why here on the Coin Empire we continue to explore these incredible stories, bringing you closer to the hidden world of rare coins where history, mystery, and value come together in the most surprising ways imaginable. Next, 1982 1-cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and mysterious coins in American numismatic history, a coin that at first glance looks completely ordinary but has the potential to be worth an unbelievable $78 million. Yes, you've heard that right. We are talking about the 1982 1-cent USA coin. A coin that millions of people have probably handled without ever realizing the hidden secrets it might carry. And in this video we are going to explore in deep detail the errors, the mistakes, the minting variations, and the incredible possibilities that could transform a simple penny into a life-changing treasure. So make sure you stay with me until the very end, because what you learn today could completely change the way you look at the coins in your pocket. Now, to truly understand why the 1982 penny can be so valuable, we need to go back to that year and understand what made it so unique in the first place. 1982 was a transitional year for the United States Mint, and transitional years are always extremely important in the world of coin collecting because they often produce rare and unexpected variations. During 1982, the Mint made a significant change in the composition of the 1-cent coin, shifting from the traditional 95% copper composition to a new zinc core with a thin copper plating. This change was made primarily due to rising copper prices, which meant that the metal value of the coin was starting to exceed its face value. And while this change might seem straightforward, it actually created a complex situation at the Mint where multiple types of pennies were being produced at the same time. And this is where the story begins to get really interesting, because in 1982 there were not just one or two types of pennies, but actually several different varieties, including large date and small date versions, coins made from copper and coins made from zinc, and coins struck at different mint facilities such as Philadelphia and Denver. And when you combine all of these variables together, you end up with a perfect storm for rare errors and highly valuable coins to emerge. One of the most famous and sought-after varieties from 1982 is the 1982D small date copper penny, a coin that, according to official records, was never supposed to exist. The Denver Mint was believed to have only produced small date coins in zinc composition. So the discovery of a small date copper version from Denver is considered an extraordinary anomaly. And because it is so rare, with only a very small number of confirmed examples known to exist, it has become one of the holy grails of modern coin collecting. Now imagine finding one of these coins in your pocket change, a coin that most people would overlook without a second thought, yet it could potentially be worth millions depending on its condition and authenticity. And this is exactly why collectors and treasure hunters continue to search through rolls of pennies even today, hoping to uncover that one elusive piece that could change everything. But the 1982 penny story does not end there, because beyond the known varieties there are countless possibilities for mint errors that could dramatically increase the value of a coin. For example, one of the most significant types of errors is the double die error, where the coin is struck by a die that has been improperly engraved, causing the design elements to appear doubled. This can be seen in the date, the lettering, or even the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, and depending on the severity and clarity of the doubling, such an error can add tremendous value to the coin. Another important category of errors includes off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in a design that is partially missing or shifted to one side. These coins are highly collectible because they clearly show that something went wrong during production, and the more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin can be. Then there are planchet errors, which occur before the coin is even struck. These can include wrong planchet errors where a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different denomination, or clipped planchets where a portion of the coin is missing due to a mistake during the cutting process. And again, these types of errors can significantly increase the desirability and value of a coin, especially when combined with other rare characteristics. Now let's talk about the weight of the coin, because this is one of the most important factors in identifying a valuable 1982 penny. Copper pennies weigh approximately 3.11 grams, while zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams. So by using a precise scale you can determine whether your coin is made of copper or zinc, and if you happen to find a 1982 small date coin that weighs around 3.11 grams, you might be holding one of the rarest coins ever discovered. But even beyond the known errors and varieties, there is always the possibility of undiscovered anomalies, coins that slip through the cracks of the minting process and have yet to be identified or documented. These coins could have unique combinations of features that make them one of a kind, and in the world of coin collecting, uniqueness often translates into incredible value, especially when there is strong demand from collectors. Another factor that plays a crucial role in determining the value of a coin is its condition. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state, and even the smallest difference in condition can result in a massive difference in value. A coin that is in pristine, uncirculated condition with no signs of wear, scratches, or damage can be worth significantly more than a coin that has been heavily circulated. And when you combine a rare variety or error with a high-grade condition, the value can skyrocket to unimaginable levels. This is why professional grading services are so important in the numismatic world, as they provide an objective assessment of a coin's condition and authenticity, giving collectors confidence in their purchases. Now you might be wondering how a coin could possibly reach a value of $78 million, and the answer lies in a combination of rarity, demand, historical significance, and the unique circumstances surrounding the coin. When a coin is extremely rare, with only a handful of examples known to exist, and there is strong demand from wealthy collectors who are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of history, the price can escalate to extraordinary levels. And when you add in the excitement and mystery of a coin that was never supposed to exist, like the 1982 small date copper penny, the value becomes even more amplified. It becomes more than just a coin, it becomes a legend, a story, a piece of history that collectors are eager to own. And this is what drives the market for rare coins. Now let's consider the role of auctions, because this is where some of the most valuable coins are sold. Major auction houses attract collectors from around the world, and when a rare coin appears on the auction block, it can spark intense bidding wars that drive the price higher and higher, sometimes reaching levels that exceed all expectations. And while not every 1982 penny will be worth millions, the possibility that one could be is enough to keep collectors searching and dreaming. And that is the magic of coin collecting, the idea that something so small and seemingly insignificant could hold such incredible value. It transforms everyday objects into potential treasures, and it encourages people to look more closely at the world around them, to pay attention to the details, and to appreciate the history and craftsmanship behind each coin. So the next time you come across a 1982 penny, don't just toss it aside, take a closer look, examine the date, check the weight, look for any unusual features or errors, because you never know what you might find, and who knows, you might just discover a coin that could change your life forever. And that's why stories like this continue to capture the imagination of collectors and enthusiasts around the world, because they remind us that treasure can be hidden in the most unexpected places, waiting to be discovered by those who are willing to look a little closer and dig a little deeper. And as always, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure to keep exploring, keep learning, and keep searching, because the next $1 million discovery could be sitting right in your pocket right now waiting for you to find it. Last 1983 1-cent coin. Today we are uncovering another unbelievable story hidden in plain sight, A story about a simple-looking coin that millions of people have handled without a second thought, yet under the right circumstances it could be worth an astonishing $62 million. Yes, today we are diving deep into the mystery and fascination surrounding the 1983 1-cent USA coin. A coin that might look ordinary but carries within it the potential for extraordinary value due to rare errors, unexpected minting mistakes, and unique possibilities that collectors around the world dream of discovering. And as we go deeper into this topic, you will begin to understand why some coins become legends and why others remain unnoticed. And most importantly, you will learn exactly what to look for so you never miss the chance of finding one of these hidden treasures in your own pocket change. Now, to understand why the 1983 penny can be so valuable, we first need to look at the historical context of that year. Because in the early 1980s, the United States Mint was going through significant changes. Just 1 year earlier, in 1982, the composition of the penny was changed from primarily copper to a zinc core with a thin copper coating, and by 1983 this transition was fully implemented, meaning that all standard 1983 pennies were supposed to be made of zinc and weigh approximately 2.5 grams. However, as history has shown time and time again, transitional periods are where mistakes happen, and mistakes in coin minting can lead to some of the rarest and most valuable pieces ever created. And this is where the story of the 1983 copper penny begins to capture attention, because while the official composition for 1983 pennies was zinc, there have been rare discoveries of coins that appear to have been struck on leftover copper planchets from previous years. And these coins are considered extremely rare because they were never intended to be produced, making them highly desirable among collectors and investors who are always searching for coins with unusual and undocumented origins. Imagine holding a coin that technically should not exist, a coin that slipped through the strict quality control processes of the mint and entered circulation unnoticed, and now decades later it emerges as a potentially priceless artifact. And this is not just speculation, because similar transitional errors have been confirmed in other years, making the possibility of a 1983 copper penny not just a fantasy but a real and exciting prospect for collectors. Now, one of the most important aspects of identifying such a rare coin is its weight, because copper pennies weigh about 3.11 grams while zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, so a simple test with a precise digital scale can reveal whether a coin is made of the expected material or something far more unusual. And if a 1983 penny is found to weigh closer to 3.11 grams, it immediately becomes a candidate for further examination and authentication. And this is where the excitement truly begins, because even the possibility of finding such a coin can send collectors into a frenzy of searching through rolls of pennies, hoping to uncover that one elusive piece that could change everything. But the story of the 1983 penny does not end with composition errors, because there are many other types of minting mistakes that can dramatically increase the value of a coin. For example, double die errors are among the most well-known and highly sought after. These occur when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment during its creation, resulting in a doubling effect on the design elements such as the date, the lettering, or even the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. And while some doubling can be subtle, other examples are bold and clearly visible even to the naked eye, and the more pronounced the doubling, the more desirable the coin becomes. And collectors are always on the lookout for such errors, because they represent a clear deviation from the standard production process. Another fascinating category of errors includes off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned when it is struck, resulting in a design that is shifted or partially missing. These coins are visually striking and immediately recognizable as errors, and depending on the severity of the misalignment, they can be worth significantly more than their face value. Especially if the date and mint mark are still visible. Then there are die cracks and die breaks, which occur when the die used to strike the coin develops cracks or breaks over time. These imperfections are transferred onto the coins, creating raised lines or unusual shapes on the surface. And while minor die cracks are relatively common, larger and more dramatic die breaks can make a coin highly collectible, especially when they create unique and eye-catching patterns that set the coin apart from others. Another type of error that can greatly increase a coin's value is the presence of a repunched mint mark, or anomalies related to the mint mark itself. Although by 1983 mint marks were typically applied during the die creation process rather than being punched separately, there can still be irregularities that occur, leading to unusual or misplaced mint marks. and collectors often pay close attention to these details because even the smallest variation can make a significant difference in value. Now let's talk about the importance of condition, because even the rarest coin can lose a significant portion of its value if it is heavily worn or damaged. Coins are graded on a scale that ranges from poor to mint state, and the difference between a circulated coin and an uncirculated coin can be enormous in terms of value. A coin that has been preserved in near perfect condition with sharp details and original luster can command a premium price, especially if it also possesses a rare error or unique characteristic. This is why many collectors take great care in storing and handling their coins, using protective holders and avoiding unnecessary contact that could cause scratches or wear, and professional grading services play a crucial role in this process by providing an objective assessment of a coin's condition and authenticity, giving buyers and sellers confidence in the marketplace. Now you might be wondering how a coin like the 1983 penny could ever reach a value of $62 million, and the answer lies in a combination of factors including rarity, demand, historical significance, and the story behind the coin. When a coin is extremely rare with only a few known examples and there is strong demand from collectors who are willing to pay top dollar to own a piece of numismatic history, the price can rise to extraordinary levels. And when that coin also carries an element of mystery, such as being a transitional error that was never supposed to exist, its value becomes even more compelling because it represents a moment in time when something unexpected happened during the minting process, creating a unique artifact that cannot be easily replicated or replaced. And this sense of uniqueness is what drives collectors to pursue such coins with passion and determination. Auctions also play a significant role in establishing record-breaking prices, because when rare coins are offered at major auction houses, they attract attention from collectors around the world, and competitive bidding can drive prices far beyond initial estimates, sometimes reaching levels that capture headlines and redefine what people believe is possible in the world of coin collecting. And while not every 1983 penny will be worth millions, the possibility that one could be is enough to inspire countless individuals to search through their spare change, hoping to uncover that one extraordinary coin. And this is what makes coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding hobby, because it combines history, art, and the thrill of discovery into a single pursuit that can be enjoyed by anyone regardless of experience or background. So the next time you come across a 1983 penny, take a moment to examine it closely, check its weight, look for any unusual features or errors, and consider the possibility that you might be holding something truly special, because in the world of rare coins, even the smallest detail can make a world of difference, and the difference between an ordinary coin and a multi-million-dollar treasure can come down to a single mistake made decades ago at the mint. And that is the magic of coins. They are not just pieces of metal, they are stories waiting to be discovered, and every coin has the potential to surprise you if you take the time to look closely enough. So keep searching, keep learning, and keep your curiosity alive, because the next incredible discovery could be closer than you think, and it might just be sitting quietly in your pocket right now, waiting for you to notice it.